This is behind the scenes of Hack Fakes, Real Bakes. First up, it's the Tan My Banana app scene. I first had to track the motion of the phone, banana and fingers. Now I can replace the screen, but I had to rotoscope the thumb to place it back on top. As for the banana morphing, it essentially uses the same technique, but instead blending an image of a ripe banana. To help sell the scene, I designed a logo for this app, as well as a user interface which animates in time to the footage. For the hammer time scene, the bananas were shot whole, then again mashed. Bananas were cut out so they can be animated using a mesh warp, whereas shots of the mushed banana were masked out, then layered up to create the final effect. No post-production here for the eggplant, but I had to empty out the contents of the egg through a small hole, so it was light enough for it to be stuck to the bottom of the plant. Next is the pear drop scene. This is probably the oddest setup I've had in my living room, but as a one-man band in lockdown, it definitely gets your creativity going with the tools or furniture you have. These clamps were super useful though. 2 shots were taken, one with me catching the pears, then another with me dropping the pear cubes. I then had to insert an image of an empty plate before the pears have landed. Next I took an empty shot without the pear rigs and overlaid them on top. Frame by frame I masked out the hands and arms. Now I can overlay them back on top. All that's missing is to then animate the pears and pears shadows to complete the shot. I later added some zoom to help create visual impact, as well as help the 2 scenes to blend together. For the flower hunt, I wanted to create a visual that mimics a first-person computer game. Therefore, this involved designing a graphical user interface. After Effects expressions coding allow for multiple graphics to be linked together, meaning one keyframe can drive numerous animations. The beats per minute visual pulses were driven by an audio recording of a heartbeat, allowing for a more organic movement. This is essentially an audio visualizer. The blood pressure readings had extra coding. This allowed the lines to have a trailing effect. The lines also change colours as it enters different blood pressure ranges. A bit of artistic license was used, as blood pressure is supposed to be taken seated, not whilst hunting for flour. 3D models were created of the navigational graphic, spatula, flour tin, vacuum, and vacuum nozzle using Cinema 4D. After Effects inbuilt camera tracker obtained the 3D spatial data. I then used Video Copilot's Element 3D to composite the 3D models into the scene. Finishing touches included a layer of dust, as well as highlighting the actual book and 3D elements to help sell the 3D video game experience. To turn vacuum dust into flour, 3 shots were taken. One with me placing the clean sieve into the empty bowl, secondly a close-up of the contents of the vacuum vessel, and finally me shaking actual flour. The second shot acts like a magician's sleight of hand, concealing me swapping out the empty sieve with the full sieve. The second shot, once rotoscoped, also means that the dust and debris never actually gets mixed with the real flour. Now I added some dust particles and composited an animation of some dust debris into the sieve. The remaining effects scenes utilize similar techniques as the others. Where possible, I'd get Mocha to track the movement. Otherwise, lots more frame-by-frame masking and blending was involved. As shown in the teaser trailer, I used a swivel chair in the absence of a lazy Susan for the beauty shot. The sunlight was too strong, so the shower curtain was perfect for diffusing the light. I captured the video at 240 frames per second, which is great for slow motion. But I also used the plugin Twixtor to further slow it down by another 30% to create an even more dramatic visual for the cream. The motion was exactly what I was after. But unfortunately, the sunlight was intermittent when filming, which resulted in this bread not looking as great as the other shots that day. In order to make the bread in this scene match the look of the others, I composited new textures on top, as well as removing some rogue crumbs. And that is a brief summary of the visual effects of Hackfakes Real Bakes.